Hey everybody, this is Brian. Welcome to ChillerNight Live. We're from 8 p.m. Eastern Time until 9 o'clock. We'll talk about all things horror, science fiction, paranormal. You pick the topic, we'll make a show out of it. And right out the gate, my baby Ava's giving me some hearts. All right, right back at you. Right back at you. So, I hope everybody had a very good New Year's Eve. How about it? Let's hear what you guys did. Ava and I, we stayed up until midnight because you're supposed to do that. You know, it seems like that's a lost art anymore. You know, at least with the younger kids. I've been asking a lot of younger people, hey, did you stay up till midnight? No. It's like, what? I don't know, but we do. We're very traditional when it comes to that. We watch the ball drop, toast with our champagne, and bring in the new year with all of its hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And I hope you did too. Bonehead says, hello. Hey, Bonehead, thanks for joining us. We missed you. Missed you last week. Is it last week? Dominic says, hey, everyone, smash that like button right off the bat. Yes, thank you, Dominic. Thanks for joining us, and very, very good advice. Smash the like button. I like that. Happy New Year's Eve, everyone, he says. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Come on, you all know the routine. Make sure we get the word out there because we're going to have a good year. We're going to have a very, very busy year here. A very, very busy Chiller Night year, but in a good way. Not like an exhausting busy. But it says, hey, hello, Brian and the Chiller Night crew. Happy New Year. Yes, Happy New Year indeed. Good evening, everyone, D says. Good evening, D. Thanks for joining us. Paul says, hey, wait a minute. Before I even read that, Paul, happy birthday. So we have a birthday. Ba-boom. Right off the bat. Paul says, Mano says, Happy New Year, family. How is everyone? Very well, very well. Paul, I don't know what's up with the little additional numbers and all this stuff. That's on YouTube. That's not me. That is YouTube. So I don't know what's going on. But right now he's at Paul L-T5Z. Sounds like a Star Wars droid name or something. Well, I'll be talking about Star Wars a little bit later. Some Star Wars news. But yes, happy birthday to Paul. And I hope that you brought in the New Year's watching Manos. I'm sure you did if you were awake that long. Manos says thank you, he says. All right. Bonehead says, hey, Paul, D, and the whole Chiller Night crew. Happy birthday, Paul. Manos man. Yes. Manos man. So, hope you had a good birthday today. Thanks for sharing it with us as we do our first episode of 2026. Here tonight, you're witnessing a little slice of history, at least history for January 6, 2026. It's got to count for something. Patty says, hey, Patty, thanks for joining us. Hi, guys. Busy here at Walmart, so I'll join when I can. All right. You'll be jumping in and out like a ninja. Thanks for joining us, Patty. Dominic says, a big year indeed. Hey, Bonehead, hope you're doing great. Yes. Oh, sorry, Brian. I missed you guys, too, he says. All right. Well, we're glad to have you back. Let's see. First episode of the new year, Paul's birthday. I mentioned that Paul's little call sign there, or whatever you call it, the name, username, looks like a some type of Star Wars droid name. For some reason, I don't know why. But, you know, we do have some Star Wars news. You know, Chiller encapsulates, you know, not only horror, but science fiction as well. Anything that is under the umbrella of Chiller. not really like happy-go-lucky type of sci-fi, but like a alien invasion type of things, or maybe some dark Sith. But anyways, speaking of dark Sith, Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, is stepping down. Finally, finally, it couldn't happen soon enough. This disaster of a person is stepping down from Lucasfilm. So I know that there are tons of people who will be rejoicing at this news. Boom! Be gone! Be gone! And so she will. And she will be, I mean, holy cow. I don't even want to get into why this is such great news. But it is. It is. Now, she will be replaced by Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is, part of the creative team that brought you The Mandalorian with Jon Favreau. He is a huge, huge deal in Lucasfilm, and it has been speculated for years now that Dave, a direct, basically apprentice of George Lucas, would be taking over Lucasfilm. So good on Dave Filoni. Congratulations to him. Don't know when exactly that transition will occur, but it couldn't happen soon enough, in my opinion. So, but anyways, that's the Star Wars news for tonight. Let's see. Kathleen Kennedy is a horror movie. Dominic says, yeah. Tracy says, Happy New Year 2026. Happy New Year, Tracy. Thanks for joining us. Bonehead says, I got my eye onions. Okay. Paul says, how is Ava doing, and how is my sidekick Bone doing? I know Ava's doing well. I don't know if she's currently on here. She was on Facebook when she commented earlier, so sometimes she jumps back and forth if she's on here. I don't think she is currently. Let's see, but she's doing well. We had a very, very good New Year's Eve. Paul says, where am I at? Oh, yes, I did. It was on Saturday night stream, last movie of the night. I had a great day, Chinese food, and Mom and I celebrated greatly. Ah, fantastic. Good deal. D says, Bonehead, hi, I missed the last 2 weeks due to holiday mayhem. Recovering now, LOL. Awesome. Let's see. Salutations exchanged. Paul says 59. 59, okay. 59. Dominic says, thanks so much, Bones. Much appreciated. Same to you and yours. Happy New Year's. Let's see. Somehow I went up instead of going down here with the comments, but we will make it right in just but a mere few moments. Let's see. D says, but she is to stay on as the producer of the Star Wars projects. Well, we don't want to think about that. No, we don't. The worst thing for Star Wars would to be having Kathleen Kennedy included in any of it. Well, I think we all saw that with The Last Jedi. Now, mind a little disclaimer. If you enjoyed The Last Jedi, good for you. I hope that I'm glad it brought you some pleasure, but for many, many, it didn't. Patty says, fiscal years start in March, so maybe the Star Wars transition will be that. I don't know. Unless you're government, and it starts in October. Bonehead says, I'm doing just great, Paul. If I was any happier, I'd have to sit on my hands just to keep from jumping up with joy. LOL. That's pretty happy. Let's see. Manos was on Saturday night last movie, Paul says. Bonin says, that's right, that's right, that's right. It was on Stream TV. Where are you at, Stream TV? Stream TV. And of course, we'll be getting into that new episodes of Chiller Night Theater. So that's right. When you said that, it didn't click. It just didn't click yet, but it did. My thoughts are just, instead of like quick impulses, they're like right now cold syrup through a straw. But they are getting to where they are needing to go, just a little slowly. Dee says, I refuse to watch The Last Jedi. Very wise decision. Extremely wise decision. I have chiller chats devoted to nothing but complaining about The Last Jedi. And with absolutely good reason. Just a horrible, horrible, heaping pile of junk of a movie. They just thought they could gift wrap the most disgusting, bit of material that they could and gift wrap it with a Star Wars title, and well, they'll like this. It has Star Wars on it. No. Oh my gosh. Paul says, what did that lady do, Kathleen? That was bad. Well, okay. Have you seen The Last Jedi? Have you? There's just a lot of, for me to go through the decisions that were made should never have been made. People should have been fired. Star Wars lost tons and tons of money through Lucasfilm, through Disney, and anybody else would have been out on their butt. But she just stayed around way too long. The damage is done, though. You can't put the bullet back in the barrel, unfortunately. Can make some neat content now, but you've already ruined a mythology and some legacy characters. So, but they got their narrative across to the newer audience members. Patty says 22nd I will be a sextagenarian. Spelling wrong, she's wondering? I don't know, because I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what I'm reading there. but if it's something good, then congratulations. If it's something bad, then oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. That's sextagenarian. Oh, you're talking about what, 60? Being 60 years old? Is that what we're talking about? Paul says, no, I haven't seen The Last Jedi. SBC says, hello, everybody. Hey, SBC. Hello. SBC Nookers says, Nookers, why? Why is YouTube doing this? SBC, hi. But it says, Tom Paisley, he's back. Yeah. He was back last week, or maybe the week before. I don't know. I lose track. It's all my timeline is just a big blur. But I remember when it's Tuesday nights. Fortunately. All right. Now, all right. We brought up Star Wars. I mean, in truth, I did, but you guys went along with it. So, I will mention this. There are some really cool AI fan films on YouTube. Check them out if you get a chance. If for no other reason, imagine, they look really super cool, like a young Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, Harrison. It's easy to forget that you're watching AI. It really is looking so cool. And it's got a lot of. It's not quite there yet, okay. But you can watch these and imagine in 2-3 years how far advanced AI will get, and just in the quality. And it's pretty cool to think that they could just go back and make the characters that we, whether it be Star Wars, Star Trek. I mean, I know that there's licensing issues and stuff like that, but maybe it's in contracts now. I mean, you would almost think that it would be in a contract. If you are agreeing to be in this film, of course, AI wasn't really that, doing what it's doing now. But your likeness can be used in, future projects under this franchise or something like that. That would be, that would probably resolve a lot of that. But, 'cause I think there was an issue with them wanting to make a Grand Moff Tarkin movie and using his likeness, and my understanding is the family doesn't want that to happen. So I don't know, but it probably just prevent a lot of hardship when it comes to licensing the rights and all that, likenesses. Patty says they wouldn't let Kenneth Branagh call Richard III, not a typo, because they actually believe. Now I'm reading that so not a typo. You said because they actually believe we the fans be wondering where the first two parts were. Really? All right. Jeez, good thing you didn't want to do Henry VIII. Where's the first 7? Hey, speaking of Kenneth Branagh, let's see here. Ava and I watched A Haunting in Venice the other night. Pretty cool if you like murder mysteries, touch of the supernatural, or is it? Check out A Haunting in Venice. Enjoyable movie. I found it to be entertaining, and I do enjoy Kenneth Branagh's work as his acting as well as his directing. He's very, very gifted. One of the ones in Hollywood who actually is. So check that one out if you get a chance. I mentioned talent, and I mentioned an impressive movie. Now on the flip side of that, we also watched The Devil's Tomb. Not to be a snob, not trying to come across as that, just on the other end of the spectrum on things. So I'm just calling it like it is. However, I mean, if the story itself, the story is kind of cool. It's just the writing is so simple. It's just so simple, folks, and the acting is just even simpler. But the story, the gist of the story was, and that's what kind of compelled me to watch it, Ava and I the other night. But this one's much better. I'll just put it that way. Let's see. How many am I missing here? Supergirl was coming out in the summer, Paul says. Yeah, that's right. I was Supergirl. I've not even seen the trailer to that. I gotta be honest. I've never really watched anything. Even the '80s movie with Helen Slater. I don't think. Oh yes, I did watch that one time on video. Back. I'm sure back in the '80s. But it's not a character I really got into. But maybe it'll make a lot of money. I don't know. There are a lot of people who are into that. So Dominic says, that's always a good thing, SPC, LOL. Yes, I'm okay. I live in that part that has power. In the Greek country of Germany. Okay. Tom says, Bonehead, your messages are showing on my phone, but not on the computer. Weird. John says, hey, welcome to 2026 and the start of a great new year and a great way to start our Tuesday night. It's time for ChillerNight Live. This is Crozak the Grand, and here is our host. Here's Bryan Hogue. Thank you. Thank you, Crozak the Grand and John. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate the intro. Bonus says, I'm glad to see you're better, Tom. Patty says, it was good. I'm not sure. Patty, I might have missed one of your comments there. Or are you referring to one of the movies that I was just showing there? Sorry about that. There's a delay. Sometimes I'm scrolling up and down trying to find the context of certain comments. Please put Manos on as the first movie in May. Can't wait for the premiere, Paul says. Oh, Paul. Al says, hey, Al, thanks for joining us. Hi, everyone. Hope you all had a good New Year celebration. Yes, we did. And I hope everybody did. At least I hope you stayed up till midnight. My gosh. I'll tell you, younger people. I've asked a few, and they didn't stay up. Or if they happened to be up, they didn't watch the ball drop. No champagne, or even a suitable replacement for champagne. I don't know. I grew up like that was always such a big deal on New Year's Eve. SBC says the 1984 Supergirl is really hot. I'm sure that was a deciding factor in me watching that. Lena says Manos superfans. Paul in the U.S., SB in Europe, Germany. Yeah. International superhero collaboration. Paul says, thank SBC. Supergirl is a drunk party animal, and Crypto is back in the movie. Oh, okay. Bonnet says, well, in my defense, I am weird. Weird is welcome. D says, we watched Krampus and It 1 and 2 over the holidays. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. SBC says, part of Germany currently has no electricity. Oh, that's not good. Well, I'm glad that you are in a part that does. Bonus says, Brian, please extend my best New Year wishes to you and yours, also from Miss Glamfangs. Oh, thank you, Bonnet. And tell Glamfangs we wish the best for her as well. Hope she had a fantastic New Year's Eve. There was Dominic says there was a trailer on Wonder Man that was released, I think, but that's going to totally bomb when the movie gets out, in my opinion. Oh, for Wonder Man? Yeah, I haven't been much into the Marvel series, the streaming series. When it first came out, I was all kind of hyped for it. I thought, oh, this is a neat idea. I like this. It's a cool idea. Then I started watching it, and I thought, well, this wasn't as neat of an idea as I thought it would be, unfortunately. I don't know. Marvel's really lost a lot of its luster, so that's all I hope they get it back. Patty says, I don't get home until just after midnight. Oh, okay. Oh, so you missed the ball drop. It sounds like Patty says, SBC, are you keeping warm with no electricity? I think he said, if I read that right, that he's in part that has power. Hopefully, I hope I read that right. I mean, you're on here, so I'm sure that hopefully that's the case, unless you're getting Wi-Fi from your vehicle. Jason says, a very late ghoulish good evening to all my fellow ghouls and to our ghoulish leader, the multi-talented Bryan Hogue. Thank you, Jason. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve. Stephanie says, hey, y'all, sorry I'm late. Just got back from a late Christmas party in the book club. Wow, yeah, late Christmas party indeed. But we are glad that you are here with us. Jason says, Brian, I purchased the Boba Fett statue you have on your desk. Awesome. Jason asked about that last week, so I looked that up and sent him the link on where he could get one. That's awesome. Yeah, it even came with that. I thought it, this is a long time ago. This is back like 25, maybe more years ago when I got this. I think it was given to me as a present. I don't think I actually bought it. I think it was given to me. But it was in that case, the packaging, like the round, cylindrical looking package. And when I saw that, I knew for a fact that was the same one. So cool, very cool. But it says, I'm glad I'm not anywhere near SBC. I know I'd get blamed for that power outage. What did you do? Paul says, how is my chiller family doing? Yes, hopefully everyone is doing okay. SBC says, children started a fire after New Year and half of Berlin is now sitting in the dark now. Oh, no way! Is that right? Wow. What a bummer. Can you imagine that? Did it happen on New Year's Eve? Hey, those were cool pictures you sent me, by the way, with the like the fireworks. SBC, that was really cool. Appreciate that. New Year's Eve. Let's see. Dominic says, SBC, that's too bad. I did not hear that. I was in Berlin, great city. SBC, I have electricity, but I also took precautions with an inverter in case it fails. Good thinking. Good thinking. Now, the reason all of this started was because of ChillerNight Theater, hosted by Jack Shadow. The show began back in 2008, 2 years after I started my first haunted house. In fact, good folks, this year will mark my 20-year anniversary of when I opened my first haunt back in 2006, which was called House of Terror. So this year it'll be Jack Shadow's House of Terror, because that was the year also that introduced the character of Jack Shadow and the House of Terror. So it's very fitting that those two are obviously joined together as a haunted house and as an attraction. But this coming May will be the anniversary day. I think it was on May, it was either May 2nd or May 3rd of 2008 that the very first episode, at that time the show was called Sleepy Hollow Theater, first aired on on a local television station in Oil City and Franklin, Pennsylvania, on a channel at the time called Venango Video. And Venango Video had been around for decades. It had been around for quite a while. It was a kind of a big, real big in the 80s and 90s. Kind of in the 2000s started the trail off, but it was still going pretty good, when the show first started. And then later on, Stream TV took over the station, and I've been doing the show. Well, in 2015, we switched the name to ChillerNight Theater as a homage to Chiller Theater, and that was the night we had Bill Chilly Billy Cardell. Now, Bill Chilly Billy Cardell, if you grew up in anywhere in the Pittsburgh area back in the 60s and 70s and early 80s, you know that Chiller Theater aired out of Pittsburgh every Saturday night. So the show has been going on for quite a while. It is fitting that the show kind of relaunches or makes its relaunch on May 2nd of this year, Saturday night. And my plan, this is my plan, My plan is to relaunch it on Saturday, um, May 2nd, with every Saturday from May 2nd until midnight. I'm saying midnight. I said that last week. Until Halloween. Until Halloween. Uh, October 31st of this year is on a Saturday night. So from May 2nd until Halloween, there will be a new episode. That is my plan. That's a lot of episodes. That's 26 episodes. And I've never done that before. In all the years that I've done these shows, I've never done that many shows. As far as, I mean, the horror host shows. So that'll be something. So if you enjoy the channel, stick with it. You're going to see some new shows coming up. In fact, the plan is to begin taping this month. So, and this has been something, it's not being thrown together. This has been in the works for a while. I was really hesitant to say too much about it. It will be hosted by Jack Shadow, not me as a stand-in. It'll be Jack Shadow every week. So if you enjoy that character, if you enjoy Jack Shadow's hosting, it's coming back. So hope you all enjoy what will be coming your way. Let's see. Dominic says, Munich is great too. Lots to see. Love Germany. Yes, very nice country. SBC says, let me know if you visit next time. That's cool. Clinky beer mugs there. Jason says, the great Sam Gordon was an icon on Venango Video with his out and about and his telethons. Yeah. I enjoyed those telethons. Abe and I actually, or the auctions. Remember, we were on one of the auctions, the telethon auctions, if that's, but back when we first met, it was like November of 2008, we participated in that. That was such a big deal. I mean, you know, Jason, you like in that area, in the Oil City in Franklin, it was always such a big deal. It was a big, you know, well-watched station, you know, and so I you know, back when the show first came out, it was, I mean, even though it was on a like a smaller area's local access channel, it was very widely viewed. I mean, it had a lot of viewers tuned in every week to watch that show. I've had all kinds of people over the years tell me, from, you know, just friends of mine, to judges, to artists, to you know, people even that lived outside the area a bit once the show started going on YouTube. But I mean, man, they just everyone tuned in to watch that. It was a neat thing. Even a lot of younger people that I wouldn't have figured was watching it. But it says, Brian, you've got a program that's building international relations. Dominic and SBC may be able to meet up in Germany because they've got to become friends with each other on here. Yeah, it is pretty cool. And I've met some of you guys. Now, obviously, Jason's from the area that I grew up in also. So, I mean, I've seen Jason a few times. And Patty traveled quite a distance in October to meet me, or meet Jack Shadow anyways. And Dee has seen Jack Shadow at least on 3 different occasions. And let's see, I was going to say David and Diana Silvio, but they're not on here. Glamfangs, I did meet her one time. Let's see. Paul says, family, I've got to have more cake and 4 Loco. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Be safe out there, family. Love you from me and Manus. All right, Paul. Thanks for joining us. And again, happy birthday to you. John says, I'm looking forward to seeing Ready or Not Part 2. The plot around this movie is the bride who now has to deal with the threat from rivals from the world's richest families in a winner takes all. The movie will star Samara Weaving, Catherine Newton, and Sarah Michael Gellar, Elijah Wood, and David Cronenberg, coming this March. Oh, Ready or Not Part 2. John, I've not seen the first one, so I'm not familiar with that movie. But there it is. There it is right there. It's got some actors in there who I'm familiar with. Sarah Michael Gellar and Elijah Wood. The others, I'm not familiar with the name, but maybe I'd know them to see them. SBC says, Bonehead, we should all get together one day and go to Oktoberfest. That'd be cool. Bonehead, thanks again, Bryan, for all you do and all the enjoyment you give to us all each and every week. Thank you much. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is nice. It is nice to, and I know you guys appreciate this, and not just for me. I know it's enjoyable to get on here and exchange your comments with each other. It is nice to see that, because when we're here, it's just positive. It's positive. It's a nice little break from anything that might not be all that nice out there, but it's nice here. We have an hour where we get to just talk and be positive. That's what I do enjoy this time. It is amazing to me though, how many people can still get upset at watching this show or ChillerNight Theater, and they still they gotta hate on it, and I'm thinking, I can't imagine being that miserable where you have to take something that, in my opinion, it's made out of, just nothing but positivity and fun. If it ain't fun, then why the heck are we doing it? But there's a lot of miserable people out there. Maybe they'll come around. Maybe they'll get in better moods. Who knows? But this is nice. D says, my teens enjoyed seeing Jack Shadow. IRL. Alden loves horror. Jack is the best. That's cool. Very cool. Well, I'm glad they had a good time. Yeah, that was nice. Good seeing them. Good seeing you. I've wondered about that. I've wondered because, and I'm glad to see stuff like that, because, when I hear that people drove, considerable distance to come out and meet Jack Shadow, that makes me feel great. It really does. It makes me feel like, oh, okay, this means something to somebody out there, to some of you, and so maybe you're not seeing Jack Shadow here. Actually, you can see him every week if you look right up there. You can actually see him. I think you can see him up actually moving around. You gotta look through the window. You can see him. He's with us every week, whether you know it or not. But I do enjoy that. I enjoy hearing it, and I do get emails from people. I get comments. Most of the comments are positive. A lot of them are just from sad, miserable people, and you're not gonna be able to. You can't fix everybody. You can't make everybody happy, and that's something when you're in the public, or you put yourself in the public spotlight. You're going to have that. There are times when I end up just blocking people, just because that's all they want to do is if it's just a couple comments, that's all well and good. But if it's a thing where they got to keep coming back to sling their mud, then they get blocked, because I'm like, I appreciate this. I appreciate the feedback, the positive feedback. But on the other hand, when I see stuff like that, it's like, oh, well, go take a happy pill or a happy drink. Do something to better your life. If I don't know. Patty says it was only a 5-hour trip to the hotel and an hour to your place. I know you say only. To me, that's a lot. And wow, I mean that to me, I appreciate that. That is fantastic. Uh, I have Saturday in rush hour traffic in Boston. That felt longer. I have sat in rush hour traffic in Boston. It felt longer. Yeah, I suppose so. But no, that's absolutely fantastic that you did that. And it was so nice to meet you, and Dee, and it was really nice. Dominic says, yes, Brian, double thanks for doing this every week and all these amazing people. Very cool. Very cool. John says, David Cronenberg is director of Nightbreed. Okay, that's definitely one I've heard. Video dome scanners. Okay, now you're speaking my language. And his classic horror film, Rabid. Okay. SBC. Well, that sheds some light on David Cronenberg. SBC says Pennsylvania in 5 hours. That's almost a trip across all of Germany. Dominic says, Brian, can't wait for your website so you can show off some of your merch. Yeah, that's right. I have to get the online store up and running. Yeah. There's something else that I'm planning for my 20-year haunt anniversary, but I'm tempted, but I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know if it's going to work. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool if I can get this. No, it's too early. But I'm pretty excited about it, and yeah, we'll see. All right, enough of that. Patty says Jack's on the veranda, isn't he? On the what? On the veranda? I'm not sure what that is, Patty. Stan says, Boodle, chiller, get that online store going. Yes, that sounds like a good idea, Stan. Thanks for joining us. We will. We'll get that thing up and running. Because we've got... What do we have? We've got Ghostface. That's my newest toy we got. The Ghostface plushies. We've got, what is this? That's a movie. We don't have that. We've got Jason t-shirts. We've got Slasher t-shirts. We've got Terrifier t-shirts. We've got Just Kill It. A little play on the Nike logo. Creature from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man there. We've got Frankenstein. That's my favorite one. Let's see. What else do we have? Anything else we have here? Heck yeah, we do. We have, I might as well say this, we have our display haunt. You know, maybe I should put up a more scary picture there. But I also kind of don't want to be misleading and for people to think that it's going to be the whole show. I mean, how could it be? There's no actors in it. But the display haunt, it's open year-round, okay? When I'm there, the display haunt is open. I do have people go through it. Very, very cheap. It's $5. $5 per person, just because it's so new, and I'm trying to get the word out that I do have this. It's different than the regular haunt because it has no actors. It has lighting, audio, video, and animatronic effects that activate while walking through. It has a few shocks and scares, but more suitable for the kids during non-haunt season or for those who just don't really care to have too much of a scare. Thursday nights, half off for escape rooms when you book Thursdays from 6 to 8 p.m. Escape rooms are only $13 per player. Minimum of 4 players to get this special discount by appointment only on Thursdays. Book online at ChillerNight.com. And right now we do have Zombie Outbreak that's available. It's a 1-hour escape room. And we also have the Witching Hour. I have not been in a hurry to get this one up and running after the haunted house season. and I will. It's an easy thing for me to do, but I just haven't got around to it yet. I'm still trying to break out of hibernation mode, and I will. But let's see. Let me get back to the camera here. That's what's going on in my neck of the woods. D says Jack Shadow's right up there with Elvira in my opinion. That is such a monumental compliment. I really appreciate that, D. That is very cool. And thank you, thank you. It is a character that I have put a lot of myself into. It was kind of cool for the first 8 years. We never said who played the character. I never had my name associated with that character. It was always on the credits, Jack Shadow as himself. If people asked, I had a couple reporters from different newspapers ask, and I didn't tell them. And I was really big on that, you know, keeping the secret. And then in 2015, when we changed over to ChillerNight Theater, that's when that came out. When I had Chilly Billy on, and so just kind of with the relaunch of the show in 2015. Stephanie says, "Don't jinx it by telling us, Brian." Right? I know. Yeah. Nookers. Tom. Cronenberg is Canadian. That's why you don't know who he is. Is that it? Pat Savant says, speaking of about getting it to work, did you ever get the Scream camera to work? No, but it will. It will. I guarantee. I got a lot of time now to Ghostface is adorable, D says. Yes, it is pretty cool. Squigums! Ah, there's my cousin. There's Sean. I still want a Jack Shadow action figure. Yes, me too. You and me both. We were just talking about that. It was either this morning or yesterday. Ava and I were even mentioning about like Jack Shadow bobbleheads or something. But yeah, I would love to do a Jack Shadow action figure, or even a jiggler. I still have to get the jiggler made. I started that. Oh, I was all gung-ho about it. I started sculpting it, and I was all good to go. And then I had like so many different things. I need to clone myself. I really do. No, I'll tell you what. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about this year because, Squigums, by the way, if you watch the old Chiller chats, that is my co-host. And was with me in the early years of, I mean, Sean edited all the shows back in the day of ChillerNight Theater, or Sleepy Hollow Theater. D says, Squigums, I second that. Patty says, yes, Squiggle, I want an official Jack Shadow action figure. Yeah. Oh, and you can see the custom figure back here. I'm afraid to touch it because I'm always knocking the hat off or the cane or something, but this is the one that Patty made that stands back there every week. That is really cool. Again, you know, the time to drive, this so nice to see this type of thing. You know, Patty took the time to make this custom figure of Jack Shadow. It's just stuff like this. It just I find so awesome. Boba Fett. Sean, you're the one who got me this, I believe. That's what this was being asked about. I believe that you're the one who got me this Boba Fett back in the day, a long time ago. I think back when I lived in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But SBC says, you could sell DVDs and Blu-rays of horror movies in the store. They would probably sell. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, I don't know. Is that still, people still buy the discs, the DVDs? Squiggums, or at least a Ben Cooper style Halloween in adult sizes, of course. Oh, could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? The old vintage Halloween costumes, like the Ben Cooper, he said, the Ben Cooper style Halloween costumes in adult sizes. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Get yours, and then I'd like to see everyone's pictures. Deborah says, "Hello, Chiller Thrillers, coming in late." Hey, Deborah, thanks for joining us. Very glad to see you on here. Squiggum says 2XL for the Jack Shadow Halloween costume. That would be cool. D says, maybe ask Tom Savini's special effects makeup program students to create your action figure as a school project. It promotes their school and you get your prototype. Yeah. Sean says, actually, I don't remember that. You don't remember this? I think you're the one who gave this to me. I think so. Tom says, seems inappropriate for Jack Shadow to be an action figure, more like a dead figure. Yeah, that's true. An inaction figure. Yeah, it just sits around and talks a lot. Yeah, I'll have to, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, D says, is there any new buzz on the Cranberry Mall being converted into a rec center? You know what? I would love to. I'm going to knock him out. Let me put him there. Can you still see him? Oh, heck yeah, you can see him. All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Boba and Jack together. An awesome dynamic duel in the chiller world. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Sean says, okay. For this, I don't know. I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but I'm pretty sure that, I don't know. I think you got that for me. If you didn't, all right. But if you did, thank you again. It's been a long time. I really don't have much of a memory on where that did come from, but I thought that you did get it. Maybe you didn't. But no, I don't know. I don't know, and I know the mall doesn't know. They don't know much more than I do. At this point, it's very, very. A lot of it is just, you know, in the talks type of thing. I would like to think if they were going to do that with the rec center idea, that I would like to think that my store would fit in pretty well, because it's not really a store that you would want to go shopping necessarily. I have a little lobby store, but you know, not a lot of things, but you're going to it as a recreational event, or you know, like escape rooms, haunted house, that type of thing. And there is another thing I'm going to try to be adding. Actually, I'm going to start working on that this month. If I can get that added. I mean, I will get it added, but it's just like, how soon? So I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Hey, it might be more of a benefit if it does happen and I'm in there. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't. I wish I did. Gotta go. Stay safe all, Patty says. All right, Patty, thanks for joining us. Deborah says, I think your store would be a perfect fit for a recreational center. I agree, Deborah. I really do. I've thought about this, and you know, it seems to me that the section of the mall that they're talking about keeping intact, I actually am in that section, so I don't know. I would like to think that I will be unscathed by this transition, but you know, and nothing's to say that that's actually even going to happen. I know that it's not a thing yet. It's something that's in the talks. But there could also still be somebody who buys them all to keep it as retail. Now the problem with that is, and it's no secret, I'm not saying anything that's not already been made very, very publicly aware. And again, I don't say this with any. I mean, the mall, the building is in fantastic shape. You wouldn't think that by the comments and stuff that people say, and they are correct. You know, the roof has a lot of issues. The parking lot has a lot of issues. There's no doubt. Everybody knows that. Um, that is no secret to anybody. But you know, that still could be. I know it was talked about being fixed last year. Um, I know it's possible to do. It's just that it would take a lot of money to do. So um, when people say tear it down, maybe some of it. I don't know. But the building itself, the actual building, the structure um, is very good still. So I would like to stay around as long as I can. SBC says, I have a machine to make the Ben Cooper style mask vacuum forming. Oh, is that right? That'd be cool. Maybe I could do something with gosh, I don't know. Maybe I'd have to look up on what I could do to make custom made action figures. Bonus says that's an awesome idea. That's an awesome Jack Shadow figure. Oh, okay. I gotta congratulate and commend the artist that did that awesome job. Yes, Patty. Best wishes, Patty. Miss Patsavan. See you next week. SBC says, night, Patsavan. Stay safe. Have a great week. Tom says, okay, peeps. See you next week. Hope I can see your messages then, Bonehead. All right, Tom. Have a good night. Dominic says, oh man, that's cool, SBC, as long as the masks cut your face up like the olds did. Oh yeah, you got to have that little, and the condensation of just to survive that experience of trick-or-treating. That was half the fun, you know, just to get out there and almost drown in your own condensation that would form in the mask. John says, and you have been watching ChillerNight live for the first of 2026 with Bryan Hogue. This is Crozak the Grand reminding you that you have 51 more Tuesday nights to enjoy the show. Until next week at the top of the hour, welcome to 2026 and try to keep New Year's resolutions and stay chilled, keep thrilled. Thank you, Crozak the Grand. Squiggums says, SBCs, that would be the biggest hurdle. You could be our hero. Yes. No. That would be, really. I mean, I could sculpt and send something, I'm sure, that would be, yeah. I could probably come up with like a hard resin type of positive mold for that to vacuum form over. All right, maybe we'll get these wheels a turning. Who knows what we'll come up with by Halloween? That would be pretty cool. Stephanie says, me too, Brian. Yeah. Dominic says, and don't forget the rubber band, SBC. Yeah, I got to get your little stapler and the rubber band, and man, we'll be all set. Now we just need the vinyl suit. Who the heck makes these little vinyl suits? Douglas Hazelton. Good evening, Brian. Hey, Douglas, how you doing? Hope you're having a good night. We've actually, we're at the end of the hour. But I appreciate you stopping in. SBC says, if you use thicker plastic, they won't cut into the skin. No. We want the cheap little thin stuff that, you know, you got to earn it. You know. Raymond says, hi, all. Time flies by. Sorry I missed most of the show. Goodbye. Hi, bye, Raymond. Deborah says, oh, heck, keep the parking lot as is and incorporate it into the strategic driving course as an extension to the rec center. Oh, yeah. Yes, I like that. That's a good idea. Now, see, that is utilizing what's already there and making a neat idea out of it. I do like it. All right, saying goodbye. And it says, See you, Tom. Let's see, Bonnet says, thanks again, Brian and the ChillerNight crew for another wonderful show. See you next week. God bless and be safe, everyone. Thank you, Bonehead. Stan says, till next week. Till next week. Good night. Good night, Stan. Ava says, hello, everyone. Have a good night. All right, baby. Almost done here. Stephanie says, that's not a bad idea. Let's see. Sean says, I know you aren't busy enough. Yeah, really. Hey, you got to come out to the store one of these days. I almost called you last weekend. You got to come out and see the haunt now. Let's see. Stephanie says, take care. See y'all next week. All right. Dominic says, good night. Oh, this hour flew by. Yes, it did. It very much did. But thank you, everybody. It was a good first episode of the year of 2026. And appreciate you joining me and each other. Have a good night. Have a good chiller night. We'll see you next week.